Hello, my name is Lauren, and this is going to be my very first trying to conceive vlog. Um, it's basically going to just be a sort of introduction, telling what led me to this, things that have happened to bring me to this, and just a general first vlog sort of thing. Kind of just go over the basics. Um, and it was recommended that I do this by my friend Sonia. She also has a trying to conceive vlog here on YouTube, and I'll put a link to her channel down below in the description. Again, my name is Lauren. I'm 22, and my dear husband is 24, and we have one child, a 2-year-old son. Named Magnus, and we live here in Virginia. My husband is military, and so we are a Navy family. I guess I'll go over what brought me to this. My husband. Oh, by the way, there's some work going on outside that they have been doing for 2 weeks and won't finish. So if you hear sounds outside, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to talk over it. Sorry. We decided to start trying to conceive our second child late last year. My husband got back from deployment, and we decided to start trying. And I have PCOS, so we were expecting a difficult road, just like with our son. It took us 13 months to conceive our son, and we had one loss before him. And so imagine our surprise when first try, pregnant. And we were excited, we were happy. And I found out about a week and a half or so before Christmas. And so my thinking was, okay, let's wait till after the holidays, and I'll call the doctor and start everything. And we were planning a trip home, and so we went home, and I woke up on Christmas morning to blood and clots. Strangely enough, I had no pain, no cramps, and I was I believe I was 5 and 6. I was just shy of 6 weeks pregnant, and I spent basically the entire day in the bathroom because I didn't want to bleed through because it was fairly heavy. And we told family that I just wasn't feeling well because we had planned on telling them that day that I was pregnant. And so we had to put that to a stop. And so we buckled down and we're like, okay, we've done this before, we can do it again. We had to move in January, and so that month was more of a not trying, not preventing sort of situation. And so neither of us were surprised when I wasn't pregnant. So we tried again. Come February, I got a fake positive on a test on cycle day 28. I have 30-day cycles, so it was 2 days before my period was due. And then the night after I got my positive, I started to bleed, and I found out that this is what is called a chemical pregnancy by doctors. And my friend Sonia hates that term. She hates it with a passion. We were sad, but we again buckled down and we're like, okay, we can do this. And I started eating better than I had before. I started to try and exercise some more. because I am heavier. We tried again, and in March, another friend of mine, named Rebecca, she also began trying to have a baby that month, and so we were doing it at the same time because we were on the same cycle as well. And so we were going through it together, and I got a faint positive, and I've still almost convinced myself that it was a faulty test, but just, but my friend Rebecca did get pregnant, and so that was really exciting. We were talking about, her having a baby, and come April, my husband had to go on a 2-week trip for the military, and so we didn't get to try for April, so of course, negative. When he got home, we tried again, and lo and behold, on my father's birthday, positive. We were happy, we were excited. Went to the doctor immediately. Everything was looking good. Everything was perfect. And so everything was normal until I started to spot at about 8 weeks. And I spotted with my son, and so I didn't think too much of it at first, although my losses had made me weary. And so I called the doctor, and it was on a Saturday, and so she said, if it's still just spotting, come in on Monday. If it gets heavier, go to the ER. And so I was like, okay. It stayed spotting, and so we went to the doctor on Monday, and my doctor ended up being in labor and delivery because there was an emergency C-section. And so I had to have the backup doctor, which was a gynecologist, not an obstetrician. And they gave me an ultrasound, and she did not know what she was doing. And she told me that there was nothing in my uterus. There was no baby, no sac, no nothing. And of course I was distraught, and they took my levels, and it was at 2100, which I knew immediately was not good. That's much too low for 8 weeks pregnant. And so they wouldn't do anything. They told me to come back in 2 weeks. And I started to bleed heavier that night. And so I went to the ER and had my levels drawn again by them, and another ultrasound. And it came back that this tech knew what she was doing. And they found a sac and a yolk, but it only measured 5 and 3, which was 3 weeks behind at that point. And my levels were 2141, which they were going up, but much too slowly, even for a few hours apart. And so they sent me home, and told me that, if I showed signs of infection or extreme pain, to come back, of course. And I called my doctor to tell her that I had gone to the ER. And then the next day I started to have very strong cramps and a lot of bleeding, and so I went to the military base ER because my doctor was on call that day. And we went and had my levels drawn again, and it came back that they were only 1900, so they were going down, which was a miscarriage. And because I was measuring 3 weeks behind, and my levels were so low and getting lower, they concluded that it was a missed miscarriage, and that the baby had never developed past 5 and 3. And my body just didn't recognize it. I didn't want to let go, so to speak. And Sorry, had a little issue with my camera. But my body wouldn't let go. And so they went ahead and sent me home because I wasn't showing signs of infection. And I had a natural miscarriage at home. And I ended up passing everything in June on Father's Day, which was like a kick in the teeth, especially to my husband. It was shortly after this that I met my friend Sonia, and we hit it off really well. We were talking, and we had very similar cycles, and so we were cycle buddies and testing buddies. And come July, I was pregnant. To say that I was shocked is an understatement. Because I didn't think I'd ovulated at all, honestly. So we immediately scheduled a doctor's appointment. We went in a week later and had my levels drawn, and things weren't looking good. My levels were very low, lower than they wanted them to be. And so we went back a week later and had them redrawn, and they had gone up significantly, but not the way they wanted them to. And they had an ultrasound, and there was nothing in my uterus. And so they wanted me to come back in another week, and so we went in another week and had them tested again. They still weren't great. They were rising, but not like they should have been. And my ultrasound did show a sac and a yolk, which was progress. And so they said, okay, come back in 2 weeks. And shortly after that ultrasound, my husband had to leave on deployment. And so it was just me and my son, and because we have no family here. And so the 2 weeks crawled by, and come time for my appointment, I went in and had my ultrasound, and lo and behold, there was a baby. It was wiggling, it had a heartbeat, everything looked good, it had the perfect heartbeat, perfect size. It was measuring 7 and 5, which was only a day behind what it should have been, which is normal. It was perfect. My blood had come, like my blood levels had come back up, and they were great, they were perfect. Everything was great. It looked like this was finally going to be our rainbow baby. And I showed my husband, he was ecstatic, he couldn't wait to come back home. And about a week after my appointment, I started to feel normal. I wasn't sick anymore, my breast didn't hurt anymore, I wasn't feeling like a stretching feeling in my lower belly, like the round ligament. And I told my husband that I was afraid. And come a week later, I went in for my 10-week appointment, and they had an ultrasound ready for me, and the baby had not grown since my last ultrasound. And by measurements and from the doctor's estimation, they guessed that the baby had probably passed within 24 to 48 hours of my last ultrasound at 7 and 5. And my due date was supposed to have been April 1st. And so that was a real, it seemed like one huge cosmic joke. Like, I was in hysterics, honestly. I was crying, and one of the doctors got in touch with Red Cross, and they brought my husband home because I had to have a DNC. And it was a suction DNC, and they but I was considered high risk for surgery for various reasons. And so they brought him home, and last Tuesday on the 15th, I had my surgery. I had the option for medical management, which is the pill to help start things, but I wanted to have the baby's tissue tested to see if there was something wrong there. And then me and my husband both are going to be tested on the 28th of this month for problems like translocations, MTHFR, ANA, and several other things, and a re-evaluation of my PCOS, as well as the sperm analysis. Sorry, had another little issue with my camera. My battery is horrible. But anyway, once we get the results of my tests and his semen analysis, we'll have a game plan from there, so to speak. Right now, it's more of this cycle. I took a pregnancy test today to kind of check my levels here at home, just kind of is there a line or not, and there's no line, and I used a very sensitive test, 10 MIU, which is as sensitive as you can get, and there was no line. If my body is anything like my last missed miscarriage, I will probably ovulate late next week, but we aren't going to exactly try to catch the egg. It's if we get frisky, we do. If not, okay. I'm supposed to have my blood drawn and everything on Monday for my tests, and we have to schedule my husband's semen analysis. And they're also going to take his blood and test it for a translocation as well, just to be sure. Something else I want to talk about is I actually did receive counseling for my losses. With Robin, my first missed miscarriage, we had to see a counselor because since he is in the military, they strongly suggest that you see a chaplain or a grief counselor to help you cope. Some of the things that we talked about were trying to not necessarily distract yourself, but keep yourself busy. Giving the baby an identity, so to speak, which was give it a birthday and a name, make it feel complete, because it's our baby. It's not a miscarriage. It was our baby, not just an unfortunate event. And we did this with both of our miscarriages. We have nicknames, so to speak, for our other losses. I won't get into why there's a difference for me right now, because I'm afraid I'll start crying, but our first miscarriage, we didn't know the gender. We didn't get genetic testing. And so we gave them a unisex name, and we named them Robin Lee. And I'm actually wearing a necklace that I ordered for them that has their name, Robin Lee, and then a little phrase and things like that. And once we get the results back for this baby, and we know if it's a boy or a girl, we are going to name them either Alistair Matthias for a boy or Sophie Romelia for a girl. And I'm going to order another necklace for them as well, with their name and everything. I'll put a picture of this at the end of the video so you can have a better look. And My husband is a typical man and kind of just keeps it all inside, and I'm more, I have to get it out, and so I cry a lot. I try to keep busy with my hands. I'm trying to learn to crochet. I'm making shadow boxes for my babies, holiday wreaths, and I make wax for a job, like candles and such, and so I'm going to make a candle with a layer for each of my lost babies to burn on October 15th for the Wave of Light. I'll probably show that to you in a future video. I got a bereavement box where I can put a few things that I had from each pregnancy, like the ultrasound and pregnancy tests and things like that. It's like a music box. It has a beautiful saying on the front. I think that's about it for right now. Getting really emotional. I don't want to cry on camera. I think that's about the basics. Once I get my results, I'll be sure to share with you. I'm sure I'll make several vlogs in between here and then. Just thanks for watching.